Assalamu alaikum, everyone. First of all, I do feel just a tad silly telling my story to everyone here because I feel as though everyone knows my story. So if you've heard it before, buckle up, here we go again. My story is a lot of little anecdotes, so that's literally the best way to go about it. It started when I was a little kid, based on my upbringing, my views on religion when I was a teenager, and then when I got to college, those views sort of softening, and then sort of my exploration into religion, some projects that I had, some self-discoveries that I had, and then me coming into Islam. It's just little anecdotes here and there, because it wasn't just one, culminating event where I suddenly realized that Islam was the way to go. It was a lot of little things that sort of took me over. And when I did take my Shahada, it was a surprise to me. We'll get there. So it all started when I was a little boy. No, I mean basically when I was growing up, I wasn't brought up with religion in my life. My parents didn't bring me up that way. They didn't, religion and the church and so on, it wasn't a big part of our lives, so I wasn't very religious. My father actually disagrees with that point, and I've told him that. He thinks that I was very much raised religiously. It's just a point of debate for us. So my opinion, not that religious. So with that said, I grew up not believing so much in a God. Not so much that, I wouldn't call myself an atheist as I grew up. More of an agnostic, like not really being firm here or there. That's really my opinion on most things, When someone asks me to pick a favorite, I don't like picking a favorite. I like going either way. Because I like so many things. So anyway, so I grew up sort of an agnostic, and I was a teenager, and then I was sort of very against religion as a whole. I thought people who went to church, and most of my opinions were about church-related things, because Christianity was really the only thing I was thinking about. I thought people who went to church as people who don't really think for themselves. Religious people, they don't have opinions, they just follow whatever the pastor is telling them, whatever their book is saying. So it was really my opinion. I was stuck with it, and that was it. Move along to, actually, funny thing about me in high school is I wore all black hair, I dyed my hair black, all black clothes. I was like into that goth punk scene. That was very much who I was. My dad, again, there's a lot of my dad coming into this. My dad called it my dark days. He still does. If you talk to him, he'll talk to you about that. Very funny for him. So yeah, it was my dark days back then. Moving on to college, my views sort of softened. I wasn't, so angsty. Again, I was still even though I was wearing all black clothes, I was still the same goofball that I am today. Just a weird guy. So then my views sort of softened over the years. And I remember I had this project at school. It was go to a place that you're uncomfortable with. Get out of your comfort zone and write a report about it, basically. Write a report about how you felt, what was going on through your mind. So I was like, oh, you know what? It's a good place to get out of my comfort zone. I'll go to a mosque. I literally know nothing about Islam. In fact, years ago I was against religion, so that's even more out of my comfort zone. Literally know nothing about it. The religion, the people, everything. So I did. I contacted my local MSA and I said, look, this is what I'm trying to do. And they were all for it. They're like, yeah, let's go, let's do this. So someone took me to Jummah at the local mosque, and I had a blast. I had a great time. The guy, when we drove there, he was answering all my questions. He was asking me probing questions. He was a great guy. And when I went to the mosque, I was welcomed with open arms. I didn't realize how welcoming people can really be and how hospitable people can be. I mean, I was never around people that welcoming, so it was like a breath of fresh air, and I really enjoyed myself. And not only that, I prayed. He showed me how to pray, so I prayed Jumma with them, and the whole experience was very eye-opening. And not only that, the khutbah afterward, I was so impressed with it. It was about, I mean, I'm trying to remember, but it was roughly about science. It was about how we need to approach our religion with a critical eye. We can't just blindly accept, our religion and what it says. We need to, this is the way we go. We're not stupid people. We need to think. It is within our nature to think. If we didn't, we would be almost disobeying God. He said something along the lines of that. And remember, my whole opinion was that people who are religious are not, they don't think for themselves. So here's a khutbah literally telling me, no, that's not who we are. As religious people, we need to think. So already, my whole worldview on religion is being thrown on its axis. And isn't that funny that that's the khutbah that I go to? So yeah, it was just a fantastic experience. At that time, I still wasn't really into religion, so it's not like I was going to take my shot out of there. No, that's much later. It was just very eye-opening. So that was it for the day. It was just a great experience. It was served as like a bookmark in my mind, and we're going to return to that later. And then also we got kebabs later, and that was great too. But yeah, that's neither here or there. So that project done, I think I got an A on it. I think I got a good grade on it. Move right along. A couple years later, I'm about to finish college, and these questions are coming up in my mind, which is there a God? If I'm agnostic, why do these silly questions keep coming into my mind? If I've already made my choice, why do I keep thinking about God? Why do I keep thinking about what happens after I die? Why does that keep coming up? I made my choice, but yet it still keeps popping up. And that was bothering me. It was bothering me. So a turning point came, of all things, when I was listening